How did your father influence you? What kind of person was he, and how did he change your
Well,
character?
he's a normal, he used to be farmer, and then later come to Suwon, a little bigger city, and became, company clerk. And he is a very, very hard-working man, but he did not approve my taking Taekwondo. So I have to hide from him because he thought I was going to become, street fighters. And so I said, boy, this is such a great stuff. And I couldn't believe. The reason he did not allow is because the public image of in Korea was not good at all. So I said, when I go U.S., first thing I'm going to do is to enhance the public image.
Now, you just going back to your family, your mother, how did she shape your influence? I mean, of course, she was the one who beat you for being beaten up by a girl, but how was she as a character?
Well, my mother is a very saintly woman, and he's a very disciplined, and mostly mother when little child come cry, ooh, like that, but she didn't do that. She really beat me up so bad and woke me up. And I thank her for that, because without that moment, I wouldn't be here today.
How did you and your brothers and sisters get on?
Oh, we fought a lot, and just like anybody else, but sometimes we have fun together. And my younger brother is in New York and has a big golf shop, New York Golf. And he's doing very well. He's the president of Seoul University alumni in the United States. And so we brothers did pretty well in this country.
When you look at it, those early years, getting established, the first to bring Taekwondo, becoming, as you are known, the father of American Taekwondo, how hard was it to convince Americans to take up this sport?
Very, very, very hard. I worked very hard. In fact, in 1967, when I sponsored the National Karate Championship, that time Taekwondo was not known, so I had to call Korean Karate. And in 1967, in martial arts, still primitive. That time, I had 9,000 audience in D.C. Armory. How? I walked about for 3 months and visited every barbershop and put in a poster there. And Bruce Lee was my best friend, so he came as a special guest. And so 1967, we had 9,000 audience. And so it takes the work. I mean, nothing happens unless somebody make it happen.
How quickly did it grow once it became popular?
Well, in Washington, D.C., last 46 years or so, 46 years or so, I have taught my school, 10 schools in this area. I calculated about 250,000 Washingtonian, metropolitan Washingtonian. And it's millions of students if you count all the students who went out and taught my system.
And has that system, from when you first started, remained the same as you teach now?
No, just like any idea, just grow like life. And so I improved the basics, and it's really much different from what I learned in Korea.
Do you encourage all your family members, your children and the grandchildren?
Oh, yes. All my children except my oldest daughter. She came late, and she's still Korean, fashion, and so she didn't want it. But my youngest daughter, 2 sons, they're all black belts.
So not a family to mess with. Master Jhoon Rhee, I'm going to ask you more questions. We're going to take a very short break here. We're back with more one-on-one in just a moment. Welcome back. You're watching One-on-One. We're speaking with Grandmaster Jhoon Rhee, known as the father of American Taekwondo. You had an interesting life in America once you made Taekwondo popular. You became friends with Bruce Lee. You mentioned Bruce Lee.
Yes, I met him in 1964, one of the championship in Los Angeles, and we became friends instantaneously. And soon, when he come to my house is his house. When I go to L.A., I stayed at his house. And so we exchanged more or less. I taught him how to kick. Kung Fu didn't kick like Taekwondo. But I learned how to punch more properly from him. So we exchanged ideas. So we are teachers each other and students each other.
Did you ever spar with each other?
Oh, yes.
How did you regard Bruce Lee as a character?
Well, he is very philosophical, very jovial. I mean, he makes people laugh all the time. And he really has unique character and the ability to become what he is. And in fact, when he wrote that I am going to, next 3 years, I'm going to make $10 million in my hands. And he wrote that, a promise to himself in front of me. And so he is very disciplined, and he's not very easy to make a friendship, very tough. But once he trusts you, he will give anything that he can give.
Very tragic life, it seems.
Oh, yeah. Not only him, his son, 20 years later, died in the same way, just like he did.
A lot of people suspected there was something underhand, that he was assassinated and so on.
Yeah, so nobody knows for sure what's the truth. It's so strange. He was very, very happy, jovial, healthy young man. Then next day, so I suspect somebody did something to him.
You made your first movie in 1973, When Taekwondo Strikes. Yes. How was that experience?
Well, I never played even high school drama, and so it was really shocking that I had to play a main, movie, the international movie, main role, and I did try my best, but I didn't like myself acting in there.
Do you find yourself being called to choreograph movies, though? Because that's very popular now. Martial arts movies martial arts choreography is very popular.
Yes, and in fact, I was the first one to really introduce musical form in martial art. All my colleagues call me, martial art witch, because they didn't believe in that. Now today, everybody's doing it. And so I love martial art ballet. I choreographed to Beethoven Fifth Symphony, Exodus, and all the national anthems of different countries that I'm teaching. Well, what I'm trying to really introduce is that we can create a society where everybody can trust everybody instead of hating everybody, each other.
I will ask you more about your goal with that in a moment. You also became friends with Muhammad Ali, the legendary boxer.
Yes, when he announced a fight against a Japanese wrestler. And one of my friends introduced me to Muhammad Ali, that I was the best one to teach him how to block when he kicked. And so I went to Deer Lake training camp here in Pennsylvania. And so I trained about a year and a half before the fight. So we became very good friends, and I also showed how to punch in his boxing.